Hey guys, and welcome back to another tutorial video. Today we're going to be doing bee farming. Now we're going to talk about where bees spawn, how to get them to your area naturally through the game mechanics, how to farm them both manually and automatically, and I'm going to show you guys one way to make a pretty efficient honeycomb farm. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I think you need to know is that there are only a handful of places that spawn bees. In Java and in Bedrock, the least common biomes are flower forest, forest, wooded hills, birch forest, tall birch forest hills, tall birch hills. If you're in Bedrock, you have even less of a chance. It's actually less than 0.1%. It's 0.035% chance for those biomes. In Java Edition, it's around 0.2. Now, for both Java and Bedrock, the two most common biomes for bee nests to spawn in are plains and sunflower plains. For Java Edition, plains is 5%, sunflower plains is 2%. In Bedrock Edition, plains is 5%, and sunflower plains is 3%. So, you know where they spawn, but you don't live there. So how do you get bees? Well, there's a natural way through the game mechanics to actually get bees in your part of the world, which is actually really simple and easy and can be done in early game. Now, to spawn a bee nest in survival, or really in any version of the game, you're going to need a sapling, either birch or oak. You're going to need a flower. You're going to place that 2 blocks away. And if you don't want to wait, you can use some bone meal to get this thing to maturity. Now, normally I plant around 5 to 10 trees, and to be honest, around 1 to 2 of the trees will spawn a nest. Now, I don't know what the actual rate is that Minecraft says it is, but it's pretty consistent with around 10 to 20%. So we'll just call it 15% chance that a bee nest will spawn on the tree. This is number 3. Still no nest. 9, no nest. Oh, right on number 10. That's crazy. Okay, so you can still see, I don't know what the actual chances are. I don't know if it's a 10% chance or not. But as you can see, every time I plant around 10 trees, whether it's in a row or one right after the other, you get about 10. You get about a 10% chance. So once you have the bee nest, you're gonna need a couple of things. So to begin with, you're gonna need a campfire placed at the bottom, so the smoke is hitting the bottom of the nest. And then you're going to need some shears. Now, once the bees have harvested enough pollen from these flowers, they will take them into the nest, and they will turn it into honey. And you'll see the honey dripping out of the nest. And that's when you can shear it to get 3 honeycomb. Okay, so now as you can see, the hive is now full of honey. And you're just going to come up to it and right-click. And it'll give you 3 honeycomb exactly. Now, I recommend spawning the trees near wherever you're going to build your bee farm, because that way the bees will migrate to your beehive once you start breeding these bees, because this can only hold like 3 or 4 bees. So to breed these guys up and to get them to go into your new beehive, you're just going to right click with any kind of flower, and then they'll make little baby bee. We're going to speed things up by using a bee spawn egg, and just going to give us around 4 bees. I think that is about how many this can hold. It might be less, but we'll see. And once again, all this is the beehive with a campfire underneath it. This is the manual way to get your honeycomb, and absolutely is not the most efficient way to do this, because you have to wait and then you have to harvest, and that's not the best way to go. So like I said, the bees will fill this up with honey, and same as before, you can right click on it and get 3 more honeycomb. It'll always give you 3. Now, this is super inefficient, so I'm going to show you a way to automate this, and then a way to make this automated and efficient. Okay, so what we have here is 2 pieces of redstone, an observer sending a signal into that redstone, and it is placed underneath a beehive. Now, adjacent to that redstone is another piece of redstone dust sending this signal into this observer, which is sending a signal into this dispenser with a pair of shears inside of it. Now, this is just a design that I like to use because it just works consistently and it can be stacked. I like to set blocks on the face of this so that honey doesn't fly out the side, and also with the hoppers again for the honey flying out the side. So I'm going to AFK this for about an hour, but I'm also going to be AFKing this absolute monstrosity, which is the same design, just like I said, stacked right next to each other. And this can easily be stacked above as well. It will be rather tall above it. If I ever come up with it, and you just saw when the bee came out that all of these just fired at once. So yeah, easily stackable. And we're going to AFK this for an hour as well. Okay, so just under a stack. That's actually not bad. I feel like I usually get around 50. So 59 is pretty good. I think that actually probably came in when I was going to show the other farm. Probably a couple more had come in. So not terrible. However, I'm pretty sure this one definitely did better. Just over. No, that's almost exactly 6.5 stacks. How much is that? That's 414. So 414 an hour. That's pretty good. Now, something to keep in mind is that I have this world set to like always day, like no day cycle and no weather cycle. Thunderstorms and nighttime will definitely affect the rates of these kinds of farms. Sleeping will obviously get rid of the daytime buffer where, you know, it's not slowing down because it's dark. Because if you go to sleep every time it's night, then it really just, it's always daytime. So the bees are always doing their daytime thing. However, if it is storming, like thunderstorming, the bees also treat this as night, and I know that most people are going to go to sleep anyway during a thunderstorm. So just if you're trying to get efficient rates on a bee farm, have a bed with you. If you're AFKing, I recommend doing it for more than an hour because you're going to run into storms and nighttime and things like that. Now, if you're not AFKing and you are just kind of in the game, just sleep, and it will take care of a lot of those rate problems, and you should get similar rates. You should still be seeing around 5 to 6 stacks of honey an hour. Well, guys, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you use it in your world. I hope that it is super helpful. And if you guys like these tutorial videos that I've made, I'll leave I'll definitely leave like a thumbnail at the end for one of my other tutorial videos. I do plan on keeping to make these because I know that the mechanics change as the updates come through, and things can get pretty confusing. And as for me, I'm kind of catching up with all the new mechanics of the game because I haven't played in so long. So yeah, we'll be kind of learning together and figuring things out and making mistakes. And more often than not, I make these right after building a monstrosity in my survival world and realizing how inefficient the design is. So this is for me and for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, I'm out of here.